Hi everybody, this is the second part of this chapters. Chapter 10 is gradient of a straight line. Okay, so let's look at this question first. In this part, in this question, I want to tell you that the gradient of any 2 point AB, let's say AB, and gradient AC, gradient DC, or you want to write CD, gradient AD, and so on. Since that all the point here lies on the same straight line, they are falling on the same straight line, their gradient will be the same. So I think I show you right in the video for part 1. Okay, now in this video let's try again. So let's say we find gradient of AB, A and B. Since that these two are y-intercept and x-intercept, we can use a formula: negative y-intercept, negative, remember, use this formula, remember to put a negative, y-intercept over x-intercept, which is 3, negative 2. Okay. So now let's look at AC. We need a coordinate. C, the coordinate is 1, 4. The A coordinate is on x-axis y equals 0, right? And this is 3. Okay. So 4 minus 0, 4 minus 0, and when you go to x part, you have to do the same thing, y minus 3. You cannot go like this. Let's say, for example, for the x part, you take 4 minus 0, and when you go to x part, you take 3 minus 1. It's not correct. You have to follow. If you use 4 minus 0, then you have to take 1 minus 3. 4 minus 0 is 4, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. You get negative 2 when you take 4 divided by negative 2. You see, same. So how about now we try CD. Okay, let me use another color. C, 1, 4 again, 1, 4. D, 2, 2. Four minus 2. Remember y on the top. This is for y, and this is for x. 1 minus 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 2 divided by negative 1, you get negative 2. All give you same gradient. Okay, so let's try the next part. Okay, let's look at this example. A straight line that passes through point A, P 0, and point B 0, negative 3, has a gradient of negative 2. Calculate the value of P. When you see this, y equal to 0. So you know this must be x-intercept, right? Still remember? On x-axis, y equals 0. Okay, let me write again. On x-axis, y equal to 0. On y-axis, x equals 0. Now this is y equals 0, right? We know this is x-intercept. Okay, so this is x-intercept. X-intercept this point. The point A is x-intercept, and this is x equals 0. X equals 0. Y-intercept. Y-intercept. Okay, now we can use that two formulae to help us to get the p. Okay, let me use this formula first. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now the question tells us that the gradient is -2. The gradient is -2, right? So we need to think, how do we get the gradient? This is the way, this is the formula, we get the gradient, right? So we take -3 minus 0. Okay, here I think I will just take 0 minus -3. 0 minus -3. 0 minus -3. P minus 0. This is the way how we calculate the gradient. And question tells us that the gradient is -2. Means that this is equal to -2. So now what we need to do is just find out the value of p. Negative, negative, we get positive. And if p minus 0 is still the same thing, p. And this is -2. Okay, the p you move up here. Negative 2p. Now the -2 you go down here. This is multiply, go down, go to another side, become divide. Okay, let me move now a little bit. It become divide. 3 divided by -2, but normally we like to put the negative at the middle here. Okay, so the p is equal to -3/2. If you don't want to use this formula, we can use another formula. Gradient is equal to negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Okay, so now the gradient is -2. How do we get the gradient? Negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Negative y-intercept, -3 over x-intercept p, -2. So negative, negative, you get positive. 3 over p is -2. And here exactly the same thing. You just, if you want to do it faster, p you move up, -2 you go down. You get the answers. P is equal to -3/2. Okay, let's proceed to the next questions. Example number 3. The gradient of a straight line that passes through the point F, and the coordinate is the coordinate are -3, 3, and the coordinate of G is H, -5. It's undefined. Find the value of H. So when you see the gradient is undefined, you know this straight line is going upward vertically parallel to the y-axis. Okay, this is y and this is x. Now let me plot this point first. -3, 3, somewhere around here. -3, 3. Okay, so this is the point for F. G, H, -5. We know the x coordinate, but we know the y coordinate is -5. Okay, let me extend a little bit here. Okay, put -5. Okay, let me use another color, -5. So we know that the G will somewhere around here because the y is -5, right? So where is the G? Since that the question tell you the gradient of FG undefined, you know that FG must be straight, go up vertically like this, parallel to the y-axis. So we know here must be the location of G, of point G. So from here, we know the coordinate of G will be -3, -5, -3, -5. So H will be -3. So if we want to double check again, we try to find the gradient of this straight line. See whether we can get undefined or not. Gradient of GH y2 minus y1 negative 5 minus 3 x2 minus x1 negative 3 minus negative 3 minus negative 3. Remember, you have two negative here. So this is negative 8. Negative will give you positive. Here you get 0. Negative 8 divided by 0, undefined. So means that our answer correct. H is equal to negative 3. Okay, so now let's go to this example number 4. The gradient of straight line, almost the same thing like just now, but now the gradient is 0. Okay, find the value of m. We want to get the value of this m. Okay, let me sketch a diagram for you first, so easier for you to understand. So this is y, this is x. P 1 5 1 5. We can somewhere around here 1 5. Okay, let me use another color to plot the point. So this is 1 5 1 5. This is P. Okay, P 1 5. And now we look at Q. Q is 6m. The 6 is the x coordinate. So I just let here be 6. Somewhere around here. The point Q will somewhere around this dotted line. Since the questions tell you PQ, the gradient is 0, means that you know PQ is horizontally parallel to the x-axis, right? So the Q must be over here. So from here we know the coordinate is 6 5. And by comparison, we know m is equal to 5. Same thing, if you want to double check again your answer, you can do it this way. y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1. This gives you 0. This gives you 5. 0 divided by 5, you get 0. Okay, correct, our answer. M is equal to 5. Okay, let's go to the next questions. In the diagram, point A, B, C are 3 points on a straight line. Find the value of K. On the straight line, these are 3 points on a straight line. So still remember what I told you just now. Any 2 points fall on the same straight line, they will have the same gradient. Okay, so I can say the gradient of AC is equal to the gradient of BA. Or if you don't want, you can say the gradient of AC equal to the gradient of BC. Also can. You will still get the same answer. Okay, now let's write the coordinate. On y-axis, x equals 0. Negative 2, copy. Okay, how about this? On x-axis, y is equal to 0. Write the k. Okay. Gradient of AC. Okay, now we just focus on AC, right? Focus on this point and this point, AC. 2 minus negative 2. 2 minus negative 2. 2 minus 0. Okay. Now we go to AB. This 2. 0 minus negative 2. K minus 0. Before we calculate, right, we know the K here must be positive number. it cannot be negative number. So 2 negative negative become positive. Same thing here, negative negative positive. Okay, this is 4 over 2. This is 2 over k. 4 over 2 will give you 2. It's 2 over k. K, you move up here, divide, move up here, become multiply. And the 2 multiply, bring down, become divide. K is equal to 1. Okay, so any problem? I hope that you remember what I told you just now. Any 2 points that fall on the same straight line, they have the same gradient. Okay, let's try last questions for this video. The diagram beside shows 2 straight lines. We have AB and BC. It's given that the gradient of AB, the gradient here, AB is equal to negative 2. Calculate the gradient of BC and the length of, okay, sorry, not QR, the length of BC. Okay, so now we try to think, if I want to get the gradient of BC, what do I need? I need the coordinate for point B and for point C, right? We have point C now, so no problem for the coordinate of point C. But the problem is we don't have the coordinate of point B. So what we need to do is to try to find the coordinate of point B first. Remember what I told you just now? On y-axis, x equals 0. And now we don't know the y. We don't know the y coordinate here. So we just simply use a variable to represent it. Okay, I just use y. Okay, now question tells us that now what we need to do is find out the y. So question tells us that the gradient of AB is equal to negative 2. We can use this information to help us to get the y. Now we try to think, how do we get the gradient of AB? The gradient of AB is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, right? So we also need the coordinate of point A. Or you want to use another formula, negative y-intercept over x-intercept also can. On x-axis, y equals 0. And this is 6. If I use these two coordinates to calculate the gradient, I should be able to get this negative 2. Y minus 0, 0 minus 6, negative 2. Here will give you y. This is negative 6. Okay. Y is equal to, okay, bring up here, negative 2 times negative 6. You get 12. So y is equal to 12. But we haven't gotten the gradient of BC yet. Now we are going to calculate the gradient of BC. So now, do we have any problem to get the gradient of BC? No problem, right? Just use the formula y2 minus y1. x2 minus x1. Before we get the answers, we know our answer must be positive because this straight line is inclined upward. So this negative negative will give you positive. This is a gradient, 3 over 4. Answer for part A. Now go to part B. The length of BC. I hope that you still remember. Distance between 2 points. What is the formula? x2 minus x1 square minus y2 minus y1 square root. If you forgot about this formula, you can just go back to my previous video. If I'm not mistaken, is chapter 7, coordinate. we talk about this formula, you can go back and watch the teaching video again. Okay, now let's use this formula to get the length. x2 minus x1, 0 minus negative 4, or you want to take negative 4 minus 0, all up to you, is okay, because you have a square, right? So let's say 3 minus 4, okay, let me use a number explain to you. Let's say you have 10 minus 6 square, or 6 minus 10 square, you get exactly the same thing. This is 4 square. This is negative 4 square. Oh, if I write this way, it's not correct. Put a parenthesis. So both will give you the same answer, 16. Okay, so I just take negative 4. Okay, how about take 0 minus negative 4 square plus y minus, oh sorry, not y, we know the y is 12, right? 12 minus 9. Okay, then we square root it. Negative will give you positive. Positive 4. Positive 4 square, you get 16. And this 12 minus 9, you get 3. 3 square, you get 9. 25, square root of 25. So the answer, square root of 25, you get 5 units. Okay, so this is the way how we get the distance between 2 points. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for spending time to watch my video. And if you don't mind, when you have some students or when you have some friends, they also need or they have some problem about this chapter, you can share with them about my teaching video. Thanks for helping me, and see you next time. Bye bye.